Abusianfo yamamu nyina akwaba bio no Carmela yamamu nyina akwaba bio ediba RAZ Media GH so abusia ensem bi boboba ensem kese bi boboba nyina ne se ye kase obi numerologist eche nipa omo wonim de na omotumi ye calculations basing on numbers edi what will happen basing on the time, the year, the date and the month. Now Ghana, the most numerologist person over Ghana enra ekotena radio show and say odinsem bi betu dwa e de akere basing on nature and numerology. He knows what is likely to happen on the 7th December 2024. Now, asam no muede, we am pipi ni bapa de na wuti asem we muede. Heturu nyanto boase na tie. Na wutie no na wagya wadwen kyere nso e wo comment section ho. Na tie nsama papa we di gudwa e kyere se miya victory ahead. Victory ahead basing on the calculations. And to the yanko tie yenwe we ne predictions are odiaba sabio ama ye bunu betuma ka say atadwe ene ya tin sempa bi ewo sabio this prediction now it is shocking revelation until the men say bre no kra yanko ni nkonkotie ye ba ye bese ato aso kire wadwen ewo comment section box RAZ Media GH on YouTube. You have to subscribe and follow this channel for more and more interesting stories like this. Yanko ni nkonkotie ye ba ye besan ato aso
ni eto aba ni eto ne krada wo wini
of opposition eba na eto aba no na eto da ye wo no a my example
ye Kofi Abrifa Buzia ye to ne Friday ye wo no July 11th 1913 na ye Friday and ye wo no ye to aba no Friday 1969
no for opposition eba
no for opposition or the say seat ni nyina na odi be di prime minister ye nya bibiem opakobo adubuahin date of birth and sinikrada amfa ye nya bibiem akosi 2000 AJ Kufo ye won 8 December 1938 it was yaw Thursday ye to abano kikri of opposition obe winning yan say nya bibiem kosi say 2016 I don't know numerologists they are popular because me ye bold na me to UK me ye bold be ye video so me share example we me no dia third one be to because 7 December 2016 Wednesday Akufo-Addo 29 March 1944 oye kwaku etu we day obefa and a panyan ofa 2020 umunyina nsi obi akrada
yes we have taken advantage na
eti eba sano onse satani ato aba ma democrat for wini
ai
na kwa me frame tanko frame me me ofie no frame senti ensi obi akrada na we mu se ya wini no aditi for so obusu be wini 2020 na so that be numerology no broad say ensi bibia spiritually eso go through now ko hwe ade e ben ho ne fa hwe ana me se hwe ade bi nipa la wadi America president no wadi mfie say and ono 77 and I'm saying the running mate Kamala Harris and Asibisa also what they say 56 me say Kwame Kabom was 133 Kabom was 7 and then me the be can be wa ha I be connected to Napo 7 and I Ghana ha Dr. Mahmoud Ba omi say almost 57 Sabre ye Kasa Akufo-Addo say 76 ye Kabom was say 133 which is number 7. Now to come thank you, Miss Rewada, MVP for Besa Trakunyaneso. And anu say me kan na me nya ndc ni o na ndc for mo me pa na me boa na ndc MPP for bo me pa
aya mo de to so bi bo pa
say na me ka say nkoma wo mo
am favor wa say
makam miensa efriwa babesi ndc MPP for there no more win
no mo bo pa na kwaji na say ntisa say no guase ne kan jale na mo kasa
because the moment I bet na angel has some who say be beto from the bia ampa hon pa me ya the person be po bia nim guase
mu asofo nim adi
me so ampa ho de misuro pa
tinta shegu for no mo sanfadi
edunim 2024 ne yeko ye beto aba no 7 December 2024 o kan nyina bom ye number 9 7 December 2024 mami nkamu ne bia obi tifia o tema
ya calculations ne pa
2024 no kabo mo ye 8 2024 8 me boa December ye 3 because 1 plus 2 say December ye 12 1 plus 2 ye say ye 3 2 the can 8 no so benya 11 what the can 11 no kabo mo nya 2 na de beka 70 ho a say
2 plus 7
9 shade Dr. Mahmoud Baumia 7th October 1963 it was also your number 9 o kan nyina bom ye 9 and president
so say ye hia wa
sem na ma so ye 29 November 1958 also kan nyina bom abenya 9
okay
and the day ye koto aba na so ye 9 ye hwa de Dr. Mahmoud Baumia date of birth chese wo ye kwadwo and na ma so date of birth chese wo ye kwame and 7 December 2024 so ye ebesi memenda
intina according to their work kan dey Jomama be win
according to
their work kan
their
numerology kan
according to history this is so there all things be equal
na say John Mahama okay na say apai kura ne da no ama wa free mu
na wo dey tie apai 99 no
ko mi say ho na pai
ama
ne da no ama ne ho ato no
me da ama ne ho ato no ba hwade bi single numbers numerology no me ye sheda de mame
okay
spiritual when you Google ni ade single numbers aba be the chat be the koloto na
na ya de no de
na the chat o
ne ho den
it will free night so a unya single number bi constitutionally why net na konwa no so no free so a wontimi ni bi
de wotena konwa so a
no
o free so a
o free o wie na dwuma ontimi ni bi
de wa kwa second term
on the why
John Mahama
it will be na ya 9 dia the free why pen na bia twabiem
na se na de twato kora
de twato
e se bibia favor papa no
I'm telling you
ni mu odu sen ba o mi according to yesuan
yeah
good na ehwe omra ni mesi no kwa na betumi adwitwa age ba o mi ana obi betumi ade nkwan na gu edi mam na e demo
sa mami chere wade eno so ye the history na be
sa fe ni yan hu say behind every successful man there is a woman to say Dr. Matthew Poku prempe ni mam ni nyina ye ma o mgu o mkunachi je hwe obo ahodom ni mo mkunu no
this eno so ye call history
yanko
MPP when the can win election Dr. Buzia meboa now July 11 1913 wo fi fa calculator ne kan nyina bo me number 5
K Buzia
obia ni ade biem besi je ko 8 December 1938 kan nyina bo me number 5
okay
yan sha nsu and obia answer ni biem 2016 na akufo ado 29 March 1944 o kan nyina bo me 5 obi wo calculator na metia won kan kire me na kire se MPP omu victory ni ye connected to 5 also connected to Jupiter and the color is yellow the largest planet
Jupiter
so MPP bedin kunim bia no a number 5 hu hia pa because omu energy ni connected to planet Jupiter the largest planet and who dey pa it omu adi bi nyina na ye de aje akufo kura 5 na du kura 5
K Buzia
kura 5 Jupiter now yanko NDC omuto victory number number 4
which him say
number 4 nipa obo kwa ma NDC for ye Dr. Kwame Nkrumah upe because the party members na rollers it over here party on see 21st September 1909 o kan nyina bom 4 because me calculation na ye be check 21st na ye 3 September ye 9 ukabo mu abenya 12 no asa abenya 3 because 1 + 2 no ye 3 1909 ye 1 ukabo mu anu anya 4 enkroma ba ye no fofi antoata okọ afa ye se hwan na ebesi na nan a okay Rollins abeye ni ku ye beti party ni krofo nyina kodi Rollins echi ya wo 22nd June 1947 eye number 4 me ye Rollins make calculate Rollins kwade dia ka de mebobo so 22nd ye number 4 June eye number 6 4 + 6 eye 10 no 0 na film naka 1 1947 ye 3 yen hwe 1 + 9 10 + 4 14 14 + 3 17 Matiana
no I can 17 and be a coach
1947 1 + 9 10
no 0 no from 9
1 and no ye 22nd June no and 1947 no 1 + 9 10 + 4
14
+ 7 tina me
okay
14 + 7
that's what I'm 23
21
sorry
21 2 + 1 you say 3 what the beka 1 no why say what the beka 1 no why say nya 4 Rollins de no enkruma kura 4 Rollins kura 4 ukohwe akade a onu su kura 4 pepepe onu odi ka fa no running meet enti e connect to 4 no a onu free so no ena okofa Atamas number 1 ena Atamas fa Mahama number 9 89 sabre na 9 se Messi dibi kura yen hwade yen fa ne de ne to
Angel
ebra owu ya Mahama baaye no o de bi kire no Mahama ehwe se no se mimi nkura 4 no dia me running mate eso okura 4 emisata o kan date of birth nyina bomu na ye 4 because we connected to Mercury now and I know omu ta kwa yi a jena na opoku ajiman oh my body date of birth ni chesi a maame ne ya 1951 22nd I'm saying November 1951 okura 4 hwade bi maama kura 9 meboa
yeah
maama kura 9 o de 4 koka ho a maame ne kura 4 o de 4 ne koka ho a say 13 which is another 4 ana meboa
me ti opa me
follow 84 no I connected to Mercury the na free nkruma so say ba sa omanya 4 no a eniem say wo
ka 4 maame so afa 4
maame no so afa 4 dia ene na Mahama nya the perfect match
pa
omo connected to Mercury ni straight enti wonim seba omia ekura number 9 a kesi wonya number 5 na ye 14 na ba ye 5 na fa akokoye ni na buzi amo je ku form ni ade no omo number I connected to Jupiter no any collection na no be ye day papa
so omo de 9 no
ba omo de 5
papa no de na ke buzi amo de ba no
oni nyina obi ye 5
and we so ye 4
and we so ye 4 eti we mu de omo nyom 4 no
na omo di ka kohwe mu a hu se omo fa we a we ni we de be fa asesade omo na omo kwan
me ni kwa me ye interview bi wa ha and am say number nipa oba partner Mahama no de number and esi okura but se wo hwe sa interview no a the way me see ye feeling kroma so ba no so omo so ye smart so omo so ye smart
omo mu binom se omo campaign a omo consult omo
me shed
the one to masses ankrofo yi no ye de na po na jonkuma na adutwumi ade ade no me ya sure so omo so omo nkrofo bi omo camp omo we saafo nyina ana okọ
me fa Islam nya example by your nkrofo bi wo a omo so timi de Arabic ne numerology omo timi
o sha Quran ye ne ma hodo piti enye bone so na obeka
omo timi calculate ehunu so oba we wo ware no eye ti enye de bia ombe wo bi by we example some de ma ye no a no on timi san ma me ne ho da sama san ma me ne ho aka 4 ne to fa ho
sao
ai eti say no some people for si na podia
de omo akoyi no
omo ayi
sa ne yetete no em fa ne se ono a
na date of birth 23rd May 1968
DNJ
23rd you know 2 + 3 is 5 May is 5 you know nice
me boso me no
May the young obra ho tan no kra me catch no May ye 5
guess in high
23rd ye 5 who kabo mu 10 no you want not to nche wo tie calculation no show
oh me tie pa
okay
me ji wan me distract me
1968 is your number 6 because can nyina bo 24 2 + 4 eh number 6 you see I no kase na po kokura number 7
eni abusuanum
number 7 na o the 7
no their partner 5 no
or the partner Baumia 9 no
okay
because all you 5 akọ the partner Baumia 9 no e ke benya 14 ukabo mu 5 na chese wonya buzi amode ni pepepepe but ono ye 7 it would the 7 ne ka Baumia 9 ne ho a e 16 which is another number 7 now yeah number 7 pros and cons
okay
enya bad sa say na bokura number 7 na 7 is connected to the planet Saturn. The color is black and the lucky day is Saturday. The lucky day is Saturday. Planet Saturn. You better about Saturday. So when you go cross 7 in a way no, but na poverty me a complimented Dr. Baumia, but wouldn't be a womb. Ono no 7 na kura no man you very strong spiritually sinning the one moon.
Okay.
Enti e kon enti min kon koye tire ene tire enti min koye kon. Ana don't ti na eya koye a square in a round hole. Enti mi dem nyam na betu omofo. Sami na mi tu omofo a ka campaign ni mu no. E ka ma kire de omunye we kwa me ya kire de omunye. Ebemma na post 7 no etimi compliment more because so what is it mama e kwame you better about Saturday na po can date of boy nyina bom a 7 connected to Saturday the planet Saturn
the lucky day flag black right
color na black it color black no so no there na kire in the spiritual realm color black na e da ho no eti na ye na nanom de ye ayie no
eti akonfo je akoko tuntum no mo obi de ho
obi je okra tuntum akoko tuntum ni ade na opebone adi opobi akuno
e wo ho
so oje sa ade ni nko ade na opebone adi because it had deep bone enti coming back to alaji ni napodie no eye better because bibi connected to Saturday by any perfect match. Na me tie ni baby na me think say obviously na point me more because ono no you too high so want to be submitted to presidency ni ade me nya no na make na me tie say me tell reception ono Kojo Dixon and an interview bi dia me ya twema dwasi su ne say ne number na ekura no number 7 no ene 9 no ukọ ahinie mu a number 7 no eho odensi ne 9 no so on the amichire no eti say obey automatic opoku prempen kwa dia no yi no a number ni bad but it is so play o play me adwuma de o play role bi say role no want me am play dia e be te say wo de kon ayetiri na wo di tira ye kon
obi akodi ni ma obi akodi akiri
because say mami nya no other way round mami nya no other way round
it is na eto na
eto abane ma napo and ono na ye presidential candidate
and okoyi Baumia
running mate akay perfect
okay affirmative wase akoye say the odi akiri no e bright pass the odi animu
that is it
and so obubu be na obre
na diama ono no ebre kakra na yi echuna ye nyi ni ade ne say planet Saturn I want a problem pa that is why the color is black now a true sign who can date to birth nyina bo my planet Saturn eti ana 23rd semaba no motie mi ya 23rd and obi a wo May 5th 14th and the ekeka ho no we are appealing mo fe obi apemwasem uko ba bi agi utum last minute o mo agi utum no ano no mo sat town e bi na po face no
hwamodie o me fo afa pa
Omo aji utumra ho ye ntino because omo ta bright okoba bia no waheren okoba bia na pokura 5 ni mienu 23rd eye 5 May eye 5 eto omo aji ni tumu din no omo a necessary omo sa tan no because of the date of birth.
This half who omo so tan omo na say ja omo go ade di wachi
da bi won tan omo
ade di wachi
ana ma nya yi but unso so sa wote ho ese ye woni ma ya ye de pro negative energy or town so ontimi men de obeye bia nso nya yi yes ade dipa 5 shia ali e wo dem a no mu nyina town no obia nya bitterness tia venti anger wo so a within 3 days ubenya yare ubenya malaria 5 people
wa ho den kura
combine obia dwene ho adwebone a within 3 days ubenya yare it ye town wa ehu pa
seriously
ti so far na
enye yare pa o tan yare pa wow abusia for high angel 96.1 FM so nie yenua attachment nya na edi kan amotene ni nie ewumu ani yakofa bebu mbaako ne ehu se ye de kokurumuti ne koto aba nanso wiase ne ewo wia na se no wiase no niema na hokwa niema na hokwa they say third forces na wo third forces ye wo ye papa Alan John Kojo kire maten
unim se be bokam bedi akon ayi se sie the date of birth na mikohunu number 5 bi mikabo mu no nya number 5 bi ye 1980 esi a me boy minim so producer no be sa abo ama me
okay
hwade bi other me ka say NDC are connected to Mercury.
Yeah.
Mercury color is green.
Abranti na so no.
Ah oui. The lucky day for omo connected to Mercury no. Wednesday and the color is green. Would you share NDC for flag no? Color be dominating.
Green.
Mo
green.
And also so you
and a Papa Muhammad original one.
And also your advantage pa. MPP are connected to Jupiter. The color is yellow.
Yellow. And about me, the corner.
Alan de Corona.
What the coca yellow ya kaso mo color.
Because K Buzi craft
Jupiter no what the call
K craft 5. Akufu craft 5. Kufu craft 5.
Color ni yellow.
Color ni yellow.
Alan de call.
And as you see ya kwa to aba. And obi ate ne ho afiri mumu. Ote ne ho afiri mumu a connected to Jupiter. Ono no ye Venus. O ye smart say on for Venus the color. And wakọ fam main color.
Ko no Venus color de e ho ma no. And wa sa be fa de na color.
Abe fam color.
Abu abreosu no.
And odi eye adwuma. Eti ya na bebresi ala benya 1 2 testing mark 1 2 1 2. Me de me ntufo say na emom aduru anadwo a na bo 12 kono a na abegunu say hey akwa haye pa. Eti Alan kala na ekura no. Eni ninsemo all kanani aboa no a wafa no se na chance die no.
Ho na nkamde wo be twatro kora.
Aboa no afrafranto ni na chance die ba ko pa ye or surprise me can say.
O sai o
surprise.
Unexpected for no.
And a transformational or than you or a star bi.
Wo free caterpillar no abaha.
Ni beginning so a new beginning. It is wa fa sa aboa no. Na wa fa o kala no de aka ho. E de aye adwuma. I'm telling you say ono so e be hadwene.
Obehaw. Upe obehaw.
Sada
o sampa be dania be afa before so o be dani fru san kwa na nsemo ne awadi no.
Yes.
E na ba franto na so mangu be wo be boni wo be sese ni nyina.
Oh
Obe mangu ni fe.
Oh no ni nyina.
Obe ni fe.
Wo ba so be tip 100 na bia ya ka.
No bo ha na wo boni say no disturb na.
No disturb. Franto ya boa bia. I'm telling me entina make us say
we positive abo no negative.
Franto. Franto die. In fact also the ya de ya de say ya de.
Ya de say ya de. On fa de pa bia ma.
Oh, ade ba ya. O de check it.
On nanti esu boko. O si ade so o say.
De ade ba o de ba ne say o ta bowa o ma good news.
Okay.
Safrafranto be balls preko pebra woni
na ko sha afra me
chere say good news be ba
oh sir
omo ani hu na chiri pa
okay nti sabo we kuno obo say was kuno emu bi kuno rough
and this okuno afrafranto de okuno e de I say oti amango ase bitatra amango ase ne ana bi ase na aboa ye friend anoma bia pure de gu so
oja nnan
na aboa fu
na ko huno e
ama fu da I'm telling you that's the beginning of your blessing.
Wow.
The yen sore kese pa ba beto wo no eye kwakwa de bia waja nnan gu so ene e ka hu say that year ni mu no wow obeti
asunafo be hajere
obeti but anuma biara jana na gu so bra wani na so a
obenya kura tidi
o shirawo
what you say wonderful now ka share dasem
be we na ni nyina no kabo mo number 5 na guy no or your reincarnated being
we wa kwa ba na nanom bi no
e jade la
o free party bi
ade na wa hyase no ade na wa hyase no se biribia nsi no hu nanamo yi a ade na open no obenya one day
obenya
akonya na open no
one day beto no kaish na so on pim koso a
yeah because you 1980 no o kan nyina abomu a eye number 9
okay
number 9 so ye delayance that is why singing numbers 9 ni twato no
na ebeba na
beche but the way me see no who say otiwon 1980 which is about 44 years but soon mu wi ase no
obrusa
cosmically no wadi be for 4000 years no to no pisa ni pana so one wo yade a wo de hwade say omo amafia papa we no only ding ni tiba ballot paper so
eno ni house here ye ka say ya say be ye be hunu ni asem ye ka say ya say be ye ani mfoni be ballot paper so no eni abranti house
odo mo ti gum surprise mu I'm telling you say akade keto bi na we yes wo ye because but who born date of birth nu nya de day ni month no
dia hina
chada beba come be diaku
angel
the date of birth day ni month no
okay
13th February
1980
or 13th which is number 4 a very strong number pa omo abamu
okay
4 no they are not easily discouraged anyway February na the entia na abrantie no eches kasa free ni kwala abrim ni adade na me ka kire no they are very generous
okay
anyway 1980 eno kwa na ye delayance sa numbers we me ensa okabo mo 5 so hunu na kwan totoa I'm telling you say let's we so ni tiba de no so a boni obedin gan hanum
na ye boni ye boni say na kuma so
say we no enya de an nsabeka
ba obehwetin ko
aja ba ha obi pa
ni pa be no be ha
through Ashanti region
okay MPP for no oh yes say we de obebu be na machirim ko Ashanti region de NDC for kura agitum say wo munya ke wa ha wo mabuti MPP inte MPP Ashanti region na so obe ha wo mo pa
obe ha wo mo boys
de me titia say anya de ndi be paper no so ase niam bi twintwa na kwan e be din pa say be hun ballot paper so
why we are de mra
e na me kire wo say ye de
na law criminal any ade no
etimi mi hu ye na bi ye no na obe waste time de na papa bi afa na ye ne running mate
sa
say yes ye keka yeah possible papa no say possible
okay
because the maye na still na niam bi delay na me din timi ballot paper so a ade ne so ko na obi si me me run me kura na me kase ma me running mate
so mbe fam
na me system ni mu so no
no timi running mate the identity ne ontimi nye pani na nkasa
watin wode ni kuyo na eba na kwane a wo fa so ballot paper no so na ebe ha no ba we de nipa na qualify no so no obe fa ba ye running mate obi ni ni asem
okay and some oh
na some fa no so sa akrofo fa no so ro mu nya so we Ashanti e na fa franto fo no so ya Ashanti na za abedi fa e no so te sen e bi kura sida
5 me no I'm from Tofon na
sheda
our the way
ba papa la na kofa ne bayi say o be run meter
na say de kasema ba
abatia wo mo anaba ma wo
oh omo
e asem de ma wo omo pay
omo de asem de ma omo but I'm telling you say come go MPP
say usuma be ba bi obeto nya wase nti ye de ye hwe possibilities
come go MPP
etu betu omo fo say omo pay
be dem nyam na betu
o say yesu ya de hwe obi ani mu ye kan nsama ye kan ye hwe Ghana fo nyina
wo ye omo numbers ne dia omo pay anke be
boa wo mo because obi ye ko ball a obi pe defender one man striker me na obi super striker this for team stopping no and this one me no parents ne be kwa ma wo de teachings yo we chi abare de ba emodi eh wo ya du sie na opie ade ya du sie wa be se me common bravo ipa
odukotoko ya
common de ni ye defense na nye ne de odo wa be dia kotiko
oh say protocol de man come on
David de ni ye di no sheda ni we pe
na say
odukotoko de ya
mimi tie no na say me tie no
eti sheda wo so we partner de bisa no one not bisa
because 2020 we hear me interview ye kai asem ni nyina we na me go fio ye wie ye no ye de to so no no or de me call offer was ya jaw political colors never to family ja say
na we de call offer na wa be kan
da bi say
so ni na ni
mamo party bi adi o ye wie na me say afa was so pesa de no do na say de when ya sa je say ni besi
ala kweti ya wai
de me nka de kotia no
why moderator
but is no anyway
there be interrogation one hwe ya nipa interrogative further abi fi say bi o ba bi ba na o pese de wo mumu ni pie mo money na mo hwe different from baby ya adwene da o ana o de me
no but say abato we obi anim say based on the way kura wo na ho ahi no matter what NDC is ahead John Mahama a well marketed than Baumia we two personalities need your mujina me dem fa numbers no me menye na dwuma ni bi
but omo campaign so many
but what I am of course
omo campaign so many
asi so many trimude na ba NDC for trim so see I to NDC for position I tell you incoming attorney general incoming minister of why incoming education minister and one of the nam ho no mo nya hwe na dwe na NDC for the nam
omo campaign yes
because omo visa mo wie but in reality put Baumia here, put John Mahama here. Ghanaians know John Mahama more than Baumia. Why? Niti ballot paper. So how many times? You tell me. And you're about Baumia the you think it's easy?
Not easy.
Or no, at least only the 40% mark, no, and the whole. He's now coming to work, sir, 11% now can or 10 plus 1% no, they are home. But you are starting from ground zero. And think in reality and no na Baumia so am say wo entino dimirika everywhere to krobia no di bankru
na sorry I saw them 2 days
na owura sorry them na no say na babita na it is obi gaza we was here we be dwam say ba obi aro no sa na kwakwa and then this for team ayo mo de and mo relax ya we ni awie angel ya we ni awie o kan say as you get me ma warning.
Yeah,
catch NDC for say or the abo bi the example kire omo say osono se ekunu na anya de unwie so omo anto omo bo ahwe ye e na ba no utirimu ya de sa so we ba no bi da fa kon
eno ni asem no
o ga na interview na me ne o ye no man mi enu de no ntoko na omo ko ni spirit no ye wie ye pani kase bi pass off pani kase pa o won cry me sha ne da in my life come for so nya me number o se sa papa no e hwan ana me bo odi nkyere no o se da obeba kuma so ta base program da obeba kuma se bi o be make sure so he will beat you
e be wa hu
yes a man so e bi o ma mo mo so o ma
ba ko de dey say ye ye be say committee bi o on there
kotoko bravo Mr. Shareholder
o kotoko de say match na me okay
me unya se wosum kotoko ate unya se wosum kotoko o bia ye be ka bia kire wa ha
no kotoko de wa ya ma me bi nie
o ya ma ba bia tena na wosum a wo
kotoko voja park so mbobo de ono wa ya ma me bi nie ana so kotoko bo no mbo no visa no anu no oni papa we
hey
papa we
yes ma santi house dey
papa we
yes ma santi house dey
what you two free them ko da hotel
kotoko nti
Onu nema accurate score line.
Connect the.
What's it Kwame? Messi Olympics be say. First half be say. Kotoko. What's it Kotoko has. My way. I say was 3-1.
What can you now?
Me say 3-1.
Who you say?
But we are more call Adriana. Oh, there be boy be say. Marine. Oh, Bofaga na mbokwa show mo. Go from the team no come off no from Carello the wine. Mbokwa o me you free fake up no be free. I'm telling you.
Na want me anya ho hwe.
Edu ba bia na me so me nsa
agini. Receive message no so so.
Edu ba bia na me nsa agini. Obi be papa yi.
No.
Edu ba bia na me nsa agini.
On na kra obi aba morning show baba 4 o'clock. 10 o'clock 11 nyina na kwa bi.
Ja na ni fie
ana ke bi kro bi fie kwa no. Because kwame am maybe am few. What? I'm telling you. Una also we ya why.
Papa ya da. Wada o.
Se kwame tanko.
That dey grow prayer mensa gate. Ono ni fie gate. Prayer na every now with the town. Anajo be 11:30 ni na papa iso.
Wa maybe am
obiza kwame kan o. Man frɛ no a ompie da.
Because ono na me dey ni die man. Ono ka no kore. Yeah, the ko win wi a o se minimum baby. Or the glory na come any powerful. Anyway, it's just by the way. You can. Well, me pa cho me nya afrefo numu a eye 5 ye enough. Nipa 5 pe. As
use you, I mean Dr. Baumia's talk.
Omaru, it's the reception has been great. It's been a humbling 6 weeks of a tour for the campaign. Because I must be very honest with you. Before we started the campaign, I'm sure from the opposition, they thought that, what are we going to say? What are you going to tell the people?
What message?
One message. I'm sure you heard that a lot of times. The global economy is scrambled. Everybody is trying to get out of it. Ghana has felt it. We've gone through it. We are going through it. We are trying to recover. What are you going to tell the people? The feedback we have gotten is that the Ghanaian voter has really grown compared to all the elections we've had in the past. That today, if you talk to the typical Ghanaian, the way they analyze their voting decision and the choice of their leader is really, really improved. That a lot of the stakeholders we engaged now are able to tell you that we understand that there are aspects of governance that you could have done better, but shall we hear you on the things you've done? And then we are going to take a decision on you, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and a former president. It's one of the most difficult decisions and yet the easiest, because we have an opportunity to appraise both of you in terms of your individual and collective performance. And so we had an opportunity to take the stakeholders we engage on a journey. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia basically gives them a snapshot of what we met when we came to office in 2017, what we have been able to do, genuine challenges we've experienced in the process, how we've attempted to deal with these challenges, and what his vision going into the future would be. No country goes into an election when they have everything perfectly working for them. If we're going to look at Ghana achieving everything all at once, we would not be going into an election every 4 years. You go into an election because you believe that whatever the leader will do for you is done, and that what is the way forward from where we are at the moment. And that has been our conversation with the people. Dr. Bawumia has humbly acknowledged what our challenges, our shortfalls have been as a government. He has outlined what the successes have also been, and he is giving cogent, clear vision points for each of the sectors and how he believes moving forward those sectors can be handled for the betterment of the people of Ghana. And the reception has been great. We would not say that the people are completely happy with us. And I say that because a lot of the measure that the people of Ghana have of us is against us ourselves. The people of Ghana are not measuring MPP again. They regard MPP in a higher esteem than the NDC. And so usually they will say, well, we expected more from you. And so if you haven't been able to do it, that's why you should allow us to be hard on you. And fortunately, we have a leader in Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, a leader who is magnanimous enough to say, listen, throw all the missiles at me. Shall we now, after listening to all the issues, come together and agree on the way forward? And that is how this campaign has been for us in the first phase. We've solicited a lot of feedback. We've refined a lot of the plans that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had, and all of them are getting into the manifesto. But I can tell you that the people are resolved to allow Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia to also show what it is that he can also deliver to this country. Okay. The people's conviction is that we have a choice between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and a former president. Dr. Bawumia has never been president before. He is the vice president. But between him and the former president, the difference is that the former president has been a vice president before, so they both tick that box. And then he came to us in 2016 and said, I'm a spare driver. Give me an opportunity to be a driver, and let me also show you what I can do. And we actually listened, and we gave him that opportunity to become president. The people feel that let's allow another Ghanaian, another citizen, to also show us what it is that he can also do in his capacity as president. And that is what is inspiring us going into the second phase of our campaigning.
I have seen NDC people share something which is a coinage they created, and it goes like this: my government has not done well. Elect me so that my government will come and do what my government has failed to do. Is that okay? That appears to be what Dr. Bawumia is doing. How does he disentangle himself from the current government that he's in to say that, okay, A, B, C, D has not been done, I will come and do it? When people say to him, okay, why didn't you do it now? You have the opportunity, why don't you fix it now? What will be the response to that?
So two things. First of all, that coinage from the NDC is loose. It has no leg, it's wobbling.
No, it's based on facts.
Okay, so the fact also then is that I am John Mahama. I was president. I didn't do the things I was supposed to do. I have come to you to vote for me to go and do all the things I didn't do. Based
on what you have seen the other guys come to do.
So based on
that they have brought me back their give me back my stone, because I said to you that future, or what was it called? Some people are saying to you that they offer you A. I said that no, they cannot. You have taken me away. You realize that they have not. So give me a chance to come and continue on the trajectory.
So that's the NDC speaking to themselves. But that's not what the Ghanaian is saying. And I'll explain to you. You see, and I made that initial point. MPP is measured against us, not the NDC. We promised 20 things. We've done 15. The people are upset. You should have done the 20.
Are you sure it's up to 15?
Yes,
You've done like 7 or 6.
No, we've done 15.
Are you sure?
Yes. Omari, let me tell you something. Between us and the NDC, if you put the indicators on a paper to measure, you can only hold us up on the macroeconomic indicators. Sector by sector, we beat the NDC everywhere.
Macroeconomic or something
macroeconomic indicators.
Yes, it's something you really said.
Exactly.
Yes.
So it was one of the things.
No, but it's a major part
but
of the
But you see, the point is that that's why I said 20. So that's why I said 20 and we've done 15. It was one of the things. So many things come into the pot to form the macroeconomy. Okay? Education is critical. You can't just come and create an artificial macroeconomy and leave the base of your skilled citizens there. In 20 years, it will collapse everything. So we've done better in education than the NDC. We've done better in health than the NDC.
How do you define better?
Oh, I'll give you an example.
Yes.
So, on the education, we are looking at 3 things. Infrastructure. We are looking at access to education and quality.
So access, quality, and infrastructure.
We've done better than the NDC.
For access?
Access, quality, infrastructure.
Are you sure?
Yes, but let's debate it.
Infrastructure.
Yes.
Students are still running shift system.
Because we are not there. Because
no, so then you haven't.
No, we said better. Better.
No,
Umaru,
you see,
I said better. That's why I said that we are measured against ourselves.
when we introduced 2000, in fact, when Atamils introduced 4-year secondary school in 2009 or 2010, I remember that a lot of schools had to run under canopies and all of that. I remember going to report from Laboni Secondary School at the time. Over a period, they fixed that. You introduced free SHS in 2017, and for 7 years, you are still having the same problem.
No,
it means you have
that's
not
false.
That's very accurate.
No, that's false. That's
Schools
false.
still
that's
have challenges with
that's
boarding
false.
house, dining hall,
Umaru,
classrooms.
I like context.
Yes.
I like debate, but I like factual debate.
Yes.
It's false. And I'll tell you what. When we started free SHS, what happened was that there are over 100,000 Ghanaian children who hitherto were not getting access to senior high school because we didn't have infrastructure, have now come on stream. So point number one, the NDC solution to managing the little infrastructure we had was to cut off over 100,000 people. Fact.
They said progressive.
So whilst you are progressing, you are leaving 100,000 Ghanaians at home.
And they believe that was a practical thing to do.
It's
You
not- it's
decided
the-
to
it is-
chew
that is
more
not-
than you
that
can.
is not sensible.
You decided to bite
That is
more
not
than
sensible.
you
You
can
know
chew.
why that is? No, ours is the most sensible approach. You know why?
How?
Because as we speak today, you've had close to over 1.3 million Ghanaian children go through it without any hitch.
There are a lot of hitches.
Why? How do you measure the
They
hitch?
go home for 3 months
But
on vacation.
they still go through the education, sit for the exams, and do better than you, who left them at home.
Are you sure?
Yes, but that's fact. Numbers. It's not views. You see, when you're
Because their
discussing,
parents pay extra money for them when they are home to do
Where-
private tuition.
has there ever been a time in the life of a Ghanaian educational system where parents don't pay? Even private schools where we are paying dollars, we still pay extra tuition. Even private schools. You see, I like context. That's why when I'm having this kind of debate, I don't like it when we jump around. Specific.
Okay.
100,000 Ghanaian children couldn't access education for two things. One, their parents are poor, some of them. And so their parents couldn't afford the fees. Former President Mahama himself said it in Parliament that secondary education is expensive. So these children, they get admission, they have access to school, and they can't pay. So their parents keep them at home. Two, the classrooms, the dining halls, the dormitory blocks were not enough. And so we as a country introduced an artificial cutoff point to ensure that we leave some at home. They call it progressive. So their progressive decision is that when the children complete, even though Atta has gained admission or has passed to go to school, because we don't have enough classroom blocks at Presec, 10 of them have qualified. Let's pick 6. The other 4 should go and stay home whilst we slowly build for Presec. I said, it doesn't make sense. You know why? Whose child are you keeping at home?
You have a measure of,
So
you have a
claim-
means of measuring. You look at
so,
the grade.
So you see, but for the lack of infrastructure, you will not have the artificial cutoff point. That's why it doesn't make sense.
So
So, I have qualified.
Yeah, so my point is that in 7 years, how have you fixed that infrastructure?
We have. That is why when we
But if you had, then wouldn't have gold track.
Oh,
and
hold on.
yellow
We don't
track.
have. You see,
Hold
hold
on.
on.
You don't say
Calm
we
down. Calm down. Listen to me. When we started free SHS, every secondary school was running double track system.
I don't think
Gold
it's
and
every.
green.
I don't think it's every.
Every secondary school,
I'm not
except
sure
the day schools. Every secondary school.
I'm not sure. What
Every
but
secondary
it's
school.
okay.
Every secondary
Continue.
school, as a matter of fact.
No problem.
Now, as we speak today, 85% of the schools that were running double track are no longer running double track.
85%.
Yes. Go to Ebri Girls. Go to Presec. Go to Okwapman School. The first, second batches that they admitted, they are not running double track.
And this is because you fixed.
This
you
is
built,
because when you go to Okwapman School, for instance, government has built a new house. You know what they call house? Dormitory blocks.
Yes.
A new house. Government has built about 5 additional dormitory blocks. Government has built 3 different classroom blocks, one of which is about 16 units classroom blocks. What it means is that today, the children who used to be split into 2, so that others will come and others will stay at home, is no longer like that. Now let me tell you what this government has done sensibly than in the past. So 10 people qualify for school. Because you don't have classroom blocks, you say 5 of them should stay at home, the other 5 should go, and the 5, they never get access to the school. This government says that when you go on vacation, there is a certain 2 or 3 months that whilst you are at home on vacation, the classroom block is empty. Let me employ more teachers so that when you go on vacation and go home, the others who also couldn't get a chance, and hitherto would be dropout children, will also go to the classroom. It is one of the most innovative policies and programs ever introduced by any government in this country.
Okay, let's go to health.
Health. A lot of the health infrastructure that we thought we had as a country was just a facade.
You mean physical infrastructure?
Yes, was just a facade. So this country was running on a system where we are being told that, oh, we've built hospitals, oh, we've built this. In fact, it was captured in a green book. We've done this, we've done that. Only for us to be hit by a pandemic. And then realize that, so where is this infrastructure that we speak of? Because we have patients who are affected by a virus, and now we have to go and beg for classrooms to keep them. I was a municipal chief executive. I used to go to schools to beg them to give us their dormitory blocks so we can host and keep these patients.
Pentecost Convention Center.
Pentecost Convention, M Plaza Hotels. And all of that. So we realized that, hey, apparently we didn't have.
But that's because it's a pandemic.
No, it is because...
If there was no pandemic, we were fine.
No, we are not fine. In the health system, this is how Ghana's health system is structured. At the electoral area level, it's a CHIPS compound. Mm-hmm. The next level is a health center. Beyond the health center is a clinic. Above the clinic is a polyclinic and a district hospital. This is what every district needs to have. So in every electoral area, at least in your district, there must be a CHIPS compound. Then in between, there must be some health centers.
Muhammad's ministers volunteered part of their salary to build CHIPS compounds. Then in between, there will be clinics, then polyclinics, and then district. So we realized during the pandemic that this country actually had 88 districts who did not have any district hospital. Okre district, Equiapem North, Equiapem South, Madina, Adenta. 5 districts. These 5 huge districts were all attending to one district hospital, Tetekwashi Memorial Hospital in my district. The pressure, the burden, that is not access to health. Today, you have a government that says that, shall we fix this once and for all? And ensure that, if not for anything at all, at the base, at the district level, nobody should travel from their district to the next district to go and look for that secondary level of health assistance. And that's why you go to 37 and go to Kolebu, and you have people with headache and malaria and fever and
there.
They shouldn't take that there.
They shouldn't take it there. Okay. So you go there, and then people who really need serious surgeries and really need serious attentions at these tertiary hospitals, they can't have it because you have these malaria and this and all of that. This government is paid attention to that and fixing that once and for all.
By planning to build 111
Not
hospitals.
planning, it's ongoing.
How many have you finished?
About 60 of them are near completion. Go to Edukrom Hospital, as you speak, they are done with the fixing of the equipment and the beds and all of that in there. So it's not planning,
so
it's ongoing.
So over 60 are ready?
Yes.
How ready?
By November.
So
by November about 50 of them should be commissioned.
Out of 111?
Yes. Out of 88 for the district.
You said you do it in 18 months.
You see, let me tell you something. You see, when sometimes when you have politicians spinning words, you have to interrogate it a bit more. So you go to Tema West. You want to build a district hospital, and then you have a plan for the district hospital. When you go to Tema West and they give you land, and you go there and start constructing, you build it in 18 months. But when you go to Tema West and Tema West doesn't have land, what do you do?
I don't know.
Are you still counting? No, wait. Are you still counting the 18 months from when?
Yes, the one who said you build 111 hospitals in 18 months.
You, the person,
you knew of this.
The real problem, the real problem is the one who is analyzing 18 months to mean that the day are announced.
No. Then
Umaru, don't do that to yourself.
No.
Don't do that to yourself.
You see, if you are going to secondary school, you enter Form 1, they say you are going to be there for 3 years. It is 3 years.
So
if you are going to prison and they say you've been sentenced
so you
7
said
years.
something that is important. If you are sentenced,
yes.
if you enter.
Yes.
So if you haven't entered, everybody in this country knows that secondary education is 3 years.
Yes.
But you can't tell me you are in GSS 2, but I'll do it in 3 years. You haven't entered yet.
So why did you put a timeline to yourself?
Why not?
No,
because
there was no
the
obligation on you to say 18 months.
There is nothing wrong with that.
When you knew you could not.
There is nothing
You should have thought of all the land tenant dispute issues.
The real challenge with that analysis is the one thinking like that.
Okay.
That you haven't entered secondary school, but you expect to finish in 3 years.
So the problem is not that
you haven't entered secondary school.
Ghanaians.
You haven't entered secondary school, but you expect to finish before. I am telling you
that's what the president did.
If
actually.
You start,
that's what he did.
No,
he didn't even find land, and he said he finished in 18 months. That's what he did.
No. The president said that these hospitals will be done in 18 months.
Yes.
So it done in 18 months with what? Means what?
Means that 18 months we have to start calculating.
You haven't started building. The district. You haven't given me land. You the district, you haven't hit ground.
We have seen road projects. Contractors will tell us we'll finish in 10 months or in 2 years or in 18 months. when they were fixing the Senchi Ferry thing, when they at Impoku Bridge, they told us how many months.
But they were there. They were on site.
Yes.
So, why are you comparing apples to oranges?
No, you are deciding to do that.
You are doing it.
I am not.
You are the one saying that.
I didn't
because
open
secondary
my mouth.
education.
I didn't open my mouth to say that I will build.
The point is this. The point is this.
You did, and I'm saying that you should have thought of the land tenure system, all those issues before making the.
That is why Educrom. He did. That is why Educrom, where everything was available and ready, immediately started. They are done in 18 months.
Okay, so the 18-month goal has not been met. That is a fact.
For those whose lands issues were not resolved on time.
No problem. Let's move to Dr. Bawumia. So this is a base.
So the point I was even making with that is that the Ghanaian people are analyzing it holistically. They are looking at the government's performance in its entirety before they take a decision. They are not falling for emotions to say that, because dollar is this, let me vote against this government and bring this guy. We did the same thing in 2008. In 2008, of all the things Kufuor did, Kufuor bought health insurance, Kufuor bought capitation to make basic education free, Kufuor bought free maternal care. Of all the things Kufuor did, Kufuor encountered an economic challenge in 2008. We had water shortages, we had fuel shortages. Then the NDC, with their collaborators, printed fake bank statements and all manner of things. And look at Kufuor, he spoiled the economy, he's done this. Then the Ghanaian people voted against the MPP government simply because of that challenge.
But right now, the economic challenges are real. They are not fake.
But has there ever been economic challenges? Has there ever been economic challenges?
No. This one. Have you seen retirees demonstrate before?
Yes.
I've seen there's a demonstration happening at the finance ministry every Tuesday.
Has there ever been an economic challenge that is not real before? Were there not economic challenges in 2013?
No, I'm talking about what you said. The printout you're suggesting.
It was fake. They printed fake bank statements.
So I'm saying, but this one is not fake.
People are living it. Wait. People are living what? You see, again, listen to me. I am telling you that they printed fake bank statements.
Yes.
To say that Kufuor and his people have stolen money.
Okay. I'm saying that.
That's the point I'm making.
I'm saying that one was fake. I'm saying that
but it wasn't fake. Fuel prices wasn't fake. It was high.
I'm saying that
wait.
Now.
Fuel prices were high under Kufuor. They were not fake.
Yes.
Water shortage wasn't fake. It was actually real.
It was real.
The point I'm making, you should listen to me. The point I'm making is that Kufuor encountered economic challenge in 2008.
Yes.
When he encountered the economic challenge in 2008, there were so many other things that the MPP government needed to consolidate and protect for the future.
Okay.
But the NDC and their collaborators rode on that challenge. Fuel price shortages, which obviously led to high prices of goods and services.
What's your point in connection to it now? How are you connecting that now?
And then voted for the NDC.
Okay.
Now, when they voted for the NDC, what happened is that between 2009 and 2016, every single thing that the MPP had achieved within that period was eroded.
Okay.
Completely eroded to the point that by the time we got to 2016, factories and businesses that were thriving under Kufuor's era, which at that point were being called the golden age of business, the gateway to Africa. These factories had shut down because they didn't have power to power their factories. People had lost their jobs. People died on the sickbed. This is the reality. And that is what the Ghanaian voter is saying that, listen, I acknowledge that we have challenges. I acknowledge that we've encountered some economic challenges. But how about we protect the education gains? How about we protect the gains we made under roads? How about we protect the gains we made under railways?
So go to chapter 2.
Whilst we fix these challenges that we are having.
This is your candidate. What do you say to that?
Again, I don't think Ghanaians are saying that. I think it's the NDC. Because the Ghanaians have encountered.
NDC people are Ghanaians.
Oh, but they are partisan Ghanaians. So their views are not really taken seriously.
Are you sure?
Yes, of course. Let me tell you why.
Dr. Bawumia is not talking about the economy.
He's
talking about digitalization.
Your journalists are following us and reporting on the economy. Why don't you tell them? When Dr. Bawumia says that we need to strengthen our currency, and this strategy is to ensure that we set up a minerals development bank to fund the small-scale miners so that we can extract the minerals wholly owned by Ghanaians, buy them in cedis, keep them in our reserve to strengthen our currency. Is that not economy? Is that not economy?
So fixing the city.
Is that not economy?
Oh, it is economy.
When Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says that I am going to bring reforms in our tax regime by driving revenue mobilization through digitalization and introduce a flat rate regime, which would also ensure that the burden on some of these duties for our spare parts dealers will go down so they can import more, reduce the prices. Is that not economy?
It is economy.
When Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says that
he's
going to align, you said more.
No. So if you finish the last one.
Let me give you more. So
no,
that you know
give
that
me three. Three is a good number. Three. The last one.
When Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia says that he's going to assist the non-formal sector to formalize, the barber, the hairdresser, the dressmaker, and all of that to formalize, using simple tools so that they can have ease access to credit facility to expand and employ. Is that not economy?
It is. You have three. Let me have one. When Dr. Bawumia becomes vice president for 7 years and fails to do that, and is now talking about doing it in the next chapter, is that not running away from the economy?
How? Can you? I mean, who even gave?
Why was it not done?
Who even gave you that idea? Why are we then going to vote for a leader? Why then don't we shout the country that we've achieved anything? Why then did we vote? Why then do we even go to vote for a leader?
Yeah, but the question: why would you let the thing sink so low and now you're having to fix it?
No. Who said it's about fixing? Why is America and the UK and all of that still working on their economy? They have superpower economies. Why are they still talking about economy in the election that they are going to have in November? I mean, that is the lowest of the arguments, that you should have done everything in 7 years.
You've done a lot of them.
Right, we've done a lot of things. And so you continue to work at it.
You've done a lot and yet the CD is not seeing it.
But that is the point.
The fundamentals are weak.
That is why the difference between Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and his opponent, the former president, is that his opponent, when he encountered challenges in 2015, said that, listen, I am a dead goat. You can say whatever you want to say. I'm not going to listen. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia is not doing that. He said that, listen, we've encountered challenges. We have difficulties. Shall we continue to tweak and come up with strategies to help fix it? Is that not what a leader does? Did you ever read anywhere that they say a good leader is the one that doesn't encounter challenges? The good leader is the leader who, in the midst of challenges, is able to mobilize the people and get them out of it, giving them confidence and courage that it is possible. So when I hear this argument of why didn't you do it, it doesn't add up. It's not logical.
Professor Nana Jinopokwa said,
why didn't she fix? She was minister for education.
Let me ask you a question. She said that when you say it is possible, people should be careful, because the last time you said it is possible, retirees are
she was education minister. She says, in fact, the former president says that when he becomes president, he would give her oversight of education. What is she coming to fix? Why did she fix it when she was education minister?
Okay.
Former president says that when he becomes president, he would give us 24-hour economy. He was president. Why didn't he bring us 24-hour economy?
Okay.
So you see, that argument is bogus. It's flat. We shouldn't even go there. The reason why we elect leaders is that challenges will continuously come. We want leaders who, in the midst of challenges, will work with us to get it out. So nobody should ever think that this argument of his vice president, why didn't he do it now? It is bogus. Former President Mahama, all the things he's promising, why didn't you do it when he was president? Why didn't he?
He had only 4 years.
Did he do them?
He had only.
But he was vice president. You were holding Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia for being vice president.
He was heading the government's economy.
Dr. Haven't you seen Felix Ofosu-Kwakye share a letter that says that his boss was head of the government's economy? Umaru, we are serious in these elections. Propaganda will not wash. Tweak and twist will not wash. I am telling you that anybody that wants to hold Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia as vice president responsible to say that you are vice president, do everything you are promising today, should not even come and talk to me about John Mahama. He was president. All the things he's saying, which of them did he do? Mention one of the things John Mahama is saying he will do when he becomes president in 2024 that he did when he was president. Your question to Bawumia should go to Mahama. Why didn't you?
I have you now. That's what I'm asking.
Why didn't you? I've never heard you ask him.
Oh, because he has never.
But you spoke to all of them. I heard you speak to Beatrice. If you didn't ask her that.
You go and listen again.
Oh, you did it. You did it. You did it.
When is your manifesto coming? Give us an inkling. What will be your key targets?
In terms of the content of the manifesto.
Yeah.
So what Dr. Bawumia is doing this time is to make sure that every sector specifically sees himself in this plan. So for the fisher folk, he speaks about the sub industry within the fisher folk space that would ensure that a lot more people would invest in the space to boost the sector. I've just mentioned the Mineral Development Bank for the small scale miners. I've mentioned the tax reforms that would help boost our traders, importers, and then the industries. I've spoken about his educational dream, which is about consolidating free SHS and even expanding it to tertiary, especially for persons with disability, and giving them access to it. He's spoken about that as well. So we have every sector tailor-made solutions for these sectors finding expression in the manifesto.
So when soon before we see the manifesto?
We should be looking at somewhere. In fact, I think by first week in August, we should
see a manifesto.
we should
And by which time should we see your running mate?
It can be tomorrow.
They say your running mate, they say you're having problem with your running mates. You want to clean your running mate before presenting to
MPPDA. You know, one of the things I like about Ghanaians, I like the way they really place us above the NDC in every measure. The NDC had their flag bearer elected 1 year, May 2023. It took him 1 year before he was able to name his running mate. We have been elected barely 6 months ago, and all of a sudden we have delayed.
The time to the election is shorter now than it was.
The timelines don't change.
The timelines
it took somebody 1 year, 1 year, one whole year.
Yes.
Me, I'm barely 6 months.
Because he had 2 years to the election.
But it's good.
You have 1 year to the election. You can also wait for 1 year.
Good for, I mean, I can nominate my running mate 2 months elections. I have my strategy. Why do you want to determine my political strategy?
Running mate is supposed to, so that we can.
How do you know?
We can test your running mate is a potential president. We have to test him to be sure.
How do you know what my strategy is to win the elections?
But my point is that you said, why should we need to know who your running mate is, because that's a potential president. We have to know what he's made of, so we know that is this a better pair of hands.
But so you can know a day, you can know a month before, 2 months before.
A month is too short.
Why?
He has to help you campaign.
No, I have help. Why are you worried about me? I have help. I have so much help. People are helping me to campaign.
So you won't choose one.
I think that
you need a new.
The MPP's timetable and calendar, we are even early.
But you've been shifting months.
No, nobody. Who gave you a date? Me, I'm the spokesperson of the campaign. Have I ever given you any date?
So there's no month.
No. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia himself, when he was going to be named as the running mate, he was named in August. August 2008, September, October, November, we went to vote. It tells you that is a precedence for us as a party. That is a precedence for us as a party. So we as a party, we've always had our calendar, we have our strategy, and that hasn't changed. The naming of the running mate could be tonight. It can be tomorrow. It can be a day after tomorrow. Yours is that you are going to vote for 2 leaders. Former president, former vice president, and then current vice president, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Critical in this decision is who can we trust? Who has that credibility? Who has that commitment? Who has that dedication to the cause of Ghana? In this current election, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia stands tall ahead of John Mahama. You know why? One critical ingredient is that, you see, this man, he was former president. In fact, when even he was going to come for re-election in 2016, he disregarded us in so many ways. He told us that electricity bills are high, but we can choose to pay, we can choose to stop charging our phones if we want. He told us that even if he has to withdraw nurses and teachers' allowance so he loses an election, he would do it. He treated us with so much disdain. Imagine this same person coming again as president when he knows that he won't come to you for any re-election. You can imagine. But Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has made it clear. He says, I want to be president in 2024, and I want to be president again in 2028. What it means is that I'll be more accountable to you. I would come back to you again. And so I know that I have to do things that would ensure that when I come back to you, you will listen to me. Okay. He is a good man.
Thank you so much.
He is a good leader. He is a dedicated man to the cause of Ghana. And I believe that if Ghanaians should give him a chance, he would do what he has to do to elevate this country. It's on the regional tour. We engage a lot of Ghanaians through various fora.
We'll talk about the politics. Let's talk about the governance first. So you are the executive secretary for the interministerial committee on what? Local government.
So interministerial coordinating committee on decentralization.
Which is local governance, sort of.
Yes.
How have we fared in terms of decentralization since we started it in the early 80s?
I think we've come far. The aspiration of the Constitution is very clear. That, in fact, the Constitution says that we would have realized true democracy when decentralization is completed. And the objects of the Constitution is really to get every structure as we have at the center at the local level, to get governance as close to the people as possible. Administrative, financial, political, and all other things. And so if you read our Constitution critically, you realize that the Constitution is not looking at government of Ghana staying in Accra, but it's really looking at government of Ghana going very close to the people. So it says Parliament shall enact laws, enact rules, enact regulations that will bring life to the decentralization aspiration. I think we've done quite well. I mean, if you have a country like Ghana where we have close to about 261 metro municipal district assemblies, that's quite impressive. And the object is for even a lot more of this to be done, because the more you have them broken down, the closer the people
But
get.
do you think that the people really want that decentralization done? Because the people's representative, the last time the agenda was brought before them to have them elect their DCEs and MMDCEs, that thing never went beyond the paper. Do the generality of the public want that kind of thing? Do they really even want to be involved in local governance? Do people want that? Because people move from wherever to come to Accra to get things done. Do we get the sense that the general public wants decentralization?
Omar, if there is anything at all that we are very sure that the people of Ghana want, it's the decentralization. What happened with the attempt to get MMDCs elected was simply our usual partisan politics that didn't get us going. Because if you recall, throughout the entire process, it was almost like a bipartisan, decision, and everything was being done on consensus. I was very, very deeply involved, so I know that. Until the last minute when the NDC felt that, listen, if we do this thing at the time when the MPP is in government, they have a false start. And so, no, we don't want it anymore. And that's basically what led to the stalemate. Otherwise, if you paid attention to the time we're having this conversation, realize that the general populace were fired up for it. Who doesn't want to have a direct say in who his leader is? And who wouldn't want to have a direct say in terms of what's happening to education, what's happening to health? Why should I wake up in the morning and I call City or Channel 1 and I'm complaining to Bernard or Imaru about my route to tell the government, a certain government that I don't even see?
When you could go to your assembly?
When I could go to my district assembly. Because if I'm in Busa South and I have to place a call to a certain government in Accra, that's not governance. That doesn't fasten development. And for all of us who are in the decentralization space, we'll tell you that anytime decentralization succeeds, development is fastened, it's hastened, it's sped up. And that's why we have to get back to the drawing table and get it done.
But why are we decentralizing but not financing the decentralizers? Because if you don't give them the money, they can't do anything. So everything then will still come to Accra. Because District Assembly's Common Fund is a major form of funding them, but it's a pittance.
So that's the other battle we need to win. You see, the thing about decentralization is that it is not an interesting concept for politicians and technical people and leaders at the center. That's one thing.
So they won't benefit directly.
Exactly. So all over the world, decentralization doesn't come easy. So there are practitioners who will tell you that there's a theory called the Big Bang Theory, where you wake up one morning and the law has changed. No issue of referendum, It's changed. If you are an institution in Accra, tomorrow morning set up an office at a district level, send 70% of your budget there, bam, it's done. And then there are other places where they said, can we just roll it out gradually, slowly, and progressively like we are trying to do? The progressive rollout is always a challenge. I mean, today I'm a decentralization practitioner. I've been an MC, I'm at the IMCC on decentralization, so yeah, I want it done. Tomorrow, I become Minister for Agric or Minister for Health, and I'm being told to decentralize, and I don't want to.
Because you want to take credit for the small
immediately you decentralize, you are losing power, you are losing money, you are losing control. That's the crux of the challenge with decentralization. What we've done so well is a political decentralization, where we continuously let go some of the institutions, we set up district offices, regional offices. We've done very well with that. Where we are struggling is that to convince and get the institutions to understand that there are some services that are pure municipal services. Send the power to them and give them the money. Let them be responsible for how they run their local development. That is where the difficulty is. But we will get there.
I know that on the onset of independence, the argument was unitary or federalism. We chose unitary form of government. Could we reconsider federalism? Would that help? Or
I don't think the unitary type is a challenge. The only difference here is that we also sometimes tend to look at the decentralization structure we are running, comparing it to the federal states. See, the federal states, theirs is different. So if you go to typical federal state like Nigeria, they even have taxes at the
federal level.
At the federal level and
level.
then at the state level. So in our case, if we're a federal state, Eastern region can enact their own, tax regime, collect their own taxes, use it at the local level and all of that. Ours don't work like that, but it's not difficult. So you collect taxes. You have a plan to use 2 billion cedis in the year for roads. You have 261 districts. All of them at different levels of development and population. You can easily use proportion to make sure that they are getting a percentage of that kitty for their roads at the local level.
Equitably.
Then you would control maybe the national roads, the N1s, the R1s, the intercity and all of that. But if we continue to finance municipal services the way we are doing, where Ministry of Roads holds all the money and they are deciding which road in the country they are going to do, then we are going to continue to have challenges. So the advocacy, so basically that's what we do here at the IMCC. What we do here is to continuously look out for reforms, areas that we have to improve. So the Interministerial Coordinating Committee brings all the ministers, about 11 ministers, around the table.
So which ministries are in this coordination?
Attorney General is there. Okay. Minister of Agric is there.
Why do you need to decentralize Attorney General?
Minister of Finance, I'll come there. Minister of Finance is there. Gender is there. Education is there. Health is there.
No, I'm sure you can't get all the lists on top of your head.
So these ministries, they come and sit at the table with the president to have the conversations that peer to peer they will not agree to have. I mean, Ministry of Local Government is also there. So if the Ministry of Local Government should go to Ministry of Health right now and say that from today onwards, we want the doctors and the nurses to be employed, recruited at the district level, the health minister won't agree. So it becomes a peer-to-peer conversation. So what the Interministerial Coordinating Committee does, that the president now brings all of you to the table. He is chair. He is responsible for running the country. So we have all the confrontational conversations and disagreements, then the decision is taken, then implementation is rolled out. That is why today, if you look at the new Local Governance Act that we have enacted, the Act 936, you'd realize that we've made a lot of progress. For example, the Pre-Tertiary Education Act that was passed, to a very large extent, decentralizes education, where the law makes room for the District Education Oversight Committee, chaired by the DCE. Secretary is the District Director of Education. He has Assembly Members Representative, he has Queen Mothers Reps, he has Chiefs Reps, he has Civil Society Reps, and so many other stakeholders at the district level. And as part of their mandate or responsibility is to supervise the performance of teachers, check attendance, ensure that logistics and infrastructure at the district level is available, ensure that discipline on the part of teachers and students are there. And I am of the view that if we implement the District Education Oversight Committee as we have today in the Pre-Tertiary Act, then we should be okay. We should be good. What the labor unions were resisting was the part where we wanted to decentralize to the point where the district would advertise for vacancy for teachers or doctors and recruit from there. And I disagree. I don't think that decentralization is a one-size-fits-all. We have deconcentration. We have the pure decentralization also there, and delegation and all of that are there. In some of the sectors, we can deconcentrate. In some of the other sectors, we can just create a regional system and make sure that it's been.
How do you think the funding issue can be dealt with? Should we give bigger portions to the district assemblies common fund, or we should let the assemblies generate their own revenue through taxation?
I really think that, first of all, the district assemblies have revenue generation streams. We shouldn't also miss that point. They have revenue generation streams that at the local level, the assembly members will go and meet. And
the tools and those
yeah, they do their own. Some are making some good money. Yeah. Some are making some good, because it depends on your local economy and how it's thriving. I mean, AMA at some point used to make over 80 million Ghana cedis. Adenta could make 14 million, 60 million, and TMA and Takrady and all of that. But I think that really, each of the sectors, whatever budgetary allocation that you have, every year, every district must know how much is in there for them.
Okay.
I think for me, that I think would be the most equitable way of distributing the funding. You may not even necessarily have to send the money directly to the district assembly, but let the district assembly know that this year you have 5 kilometers of road baseline.
You decide where you're going.
Decide where you are going to do it. The money may not have to come. It could still stay in Accra, but I know that I will implement and then it's paid.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. Okay. The other thing also is that we need to free the district assemblies and really allow them to be autonomous as much as they could be per the law. Because if you read the Local Governance Act, and if you look at the aspirations of the Constitution, these assemblies are not supposed to be controlled the way we are controlling them.
They should be autonomous.
They should be autonomous.
Which is going to bring me to the next question. Have we given up on the plan to vote for MMDCs?
No, Dr. Mahmoud Bamia has spoken about it. He's bringing it back.
So we'll bring it back on the table.
Yes, he's bringing it back. Okay. And it's something that the MPP are committed to. We believe that MMDC should be elected on partisan basis. We are very convinced about that. And it's backed by data. All over the world. There are just about 3 or 4 countries that do not vote for their mayors or MMDCs on partisan basis. All other countries in the world that we want to be like, they vote on partisan basis. Okay. I mean, the countries who are not doing, Philippines and co, they are not countries that we aspire to be like them. And there is a reason. The reason is that even in Ghana, when we are going to vote for the general elections and even MPs, you see the turnout.
Yeah.
But ask yourself, why is it that whenever we are going to vote for the assembly members, which is non-partisan, which anybody, could come in, the turnout is low?
Because the chief mobilizers are not involved.
Absolutely. And not just that, it tells you that the people are excited about a particular thing, partisanship.
Yeah.
Give them that. And partisanship is not a bad thing. It aggregates the views and brings it into one pot, and then we can move with that. So clearly, once we take that decision of electing MMDCs on partisan basis, it could also be another panacea in ensuring that some of the bottlenecks we are having with decentralization would be solved. And
decentralization comes with decongestion.
Yes.
John Mahama says he would decongest Accra. He has given a proposal. I don't know if I can trust you to give me an independent local governance expert view on this. What do you think about Accra?
I mean, when I heard the point that John Mahama made about creating another city, in fact, I think I granted an interview. I said, yeah, it's long overdue. I think we need to create more cities. You don't have to take the capital city away from Accra.
Okay.
No. But we need to create more cities. Look at Dodoa, going towards your city.
But that's my capital.
Yes. I mean, look at all the land available. Why are we still putting up, squeezing head offices into Ridge? So we wake up in the morning and all of us are moving towards one central point, one small area. And think about it. We are all going around a Ridge roundabout.
Yeah.
All of us are coming.
So we're either going right, left, or forward.
And so we get stuck in there. So today, even if there's a small event at the conference center, there is traffic. And we spend 8 hours of our day traveling. You're spending 4 hours when you are lucky coming to work, and spending 4 hours when you are lucky going to work. Why should the person living in Kaswa move all the way to Accra before he gets to work? When we have so much land from Dominacy, Potten, Bodriasi, all the way going towards
open it up.
So build the Ministry of Communication at Dodowa. Take the Attorney General's office to Ayikuma. So that if I want to do, who says that all of them should be at the same place? In the past, I think it was prudent to put all the ministries at one area because we used to move around with files. Mm-hmm. So you minute on it and you take it, then you go to the next office and all of that. But today, we are supposed to have smart spaces and work remotely, work on apps and portals. So it doesn't matter where the Attorney General's office is. It doesn't matter where the police headquarters is. It doesn't matter where Ministry of Communication is. We should be able to work, spread it. Then, if I get a job with the Ministry of Communication, I don't have to look for accommodation that will bring me to Accra. But I can now go and live at Latte and descend the hills and come to Ayikuma, or live at the Wenya, and I don't have to use the motorway but go to work. So those are the things that I think that we need to urgently look at. Not just for public sector, even for private sector. I mean, why should a bank's head office necessarily be in Accra when we know that they are just back-end operational stuff that they do? Why can't it go to Nyenyano around Kaswa area? Because the branches would work, and then when you go back there, you can do the back-end thing. If we begin to do that, Omar, it would save us a lot of things.
The practicalities, though, the logistical demands will be huge.
Why is it difficult?
You are moving all this, so you're putting your head office in Nyanyano. Everything is evolving around this area. You are moving things there. The services that are available in Accra Central, you may not get in Nyanyano.
But which services? Which services? I get fiber optic in Ekropon. Okay, MTN, Vodafone, they have fiber optic in Ekropon. So they surely have fiber optic in Dodowa and Ayikuma and the Wenya. You understand? What do we do on day-to-day basis at the bank's head office? I don't want to mention specific. Yeah. We don't do much. And in fact, if I take my check to the bank for a special clearance today, they no longer travel with a physical check. They scan it and send it to their head office clearing whatever, and it goes to BOG and it's done. So really, think about it. Why do you need the head office at the center?
What can we do to get that off the ground? Should we vote for John Mahama so he will come and do that for us?
I don't think it's an issue of voting for John Mahama or Dr.
Is it not a
Mahmoud
political
Bawumia.
will thing?
No, not necessarily. It's about
I've
the
heard
board.
about Dodowa being greater.
It's about the. I mean, John Mahama says that he's going to create another capital.
I think he said he's going to create another city. I'm not sure he said another capital.
I think that, I mean, with what we are trying to achieve, even with digitalization.
So it's not capital. So I've just been. He didn't say he'll create another capital.
Okay.
I think he'll create another city.
I think that with what we are trying to achieve with digitalization under Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, that will be the fastest and easiest route in getting these things done. Because you raised some of the challenges, and these challenges can really be taken out with digitalization.
So let the computers talk to each other.
Let the computers talk to each other, so that the people will be at the back end, getting the work done, and then the computers will be working. In that case, I can even put my head office in Tamale and have all my branches in Accra, and I won't suffer anything. So, and it's doable. It's something that really, really can be done. And I am very sure that in the next 5-6 years, we will not have any choice than to get it done. If you look at what is happening, look at the University of Ghana. When you're coming from Medina, Umaru, to 37, you have University of Ghana taking a whole block from Atomic Junction. You have nowhere to turn. So in the morning, people simply have to spend 3 hours from Atomic Junction and then crossing Tetekwashi, runabout, simply because UG has taken that whole block. You can't drive through it.
Unless you have electronic payments,
something that you, and if it's not a regular route, you don't even have to go through it and all of that. So I think we need to, and it's about spatial planning. It's about spatial planning. It's about
another one from the hotel at Jowulu, Fiesta Royal or Noga Hotel, all the way the Chimota Forest. Also, you can't branch.
You can't branch. You can't do anything. So
I think we know
a lot of spatial planning.
I'm advocating
needed.
for rail lines. Let's work.
No, and I am an advocate for creating a lot more cities. Believe me, I'm committed to that. I'm very convinced.
Please, you are in the office. Make sure you do that before you leave. Make sure before you leave, you do something decentralized, something big. Let me take a break. Let me take.